Hello artists, it's Gina. Welcome to art class. I hope you all are staying safe and staying healthy and keeping yourself busy. I have been filling my time with cooking and lots of baking and trying out new recipes and enjoying dinners with my family and also art classes with you. Today we're going to be creating a drawing of a panda. It's a very popular animal that I thought maybe all of you would want to learn how to draw. So we'll get started. All right, we are going to get started with basic shapes to create the panda. So the basic shapes we're going to start with is a circle, smaller circle. This is going to be the upper hand here. So a smaller circle, and another small circle on this side is going to be the top of the shoulder over here. We're going to create like a rainbow. So we're going to start on the right side of the circle here, and we're going to go to the middle of this circle and create a rainbow. This is going to be the top of the panda's head. So I've drawn so far 2 circles, and then I'm going to draw from the right side of this circle to the middle of this circle like a rainbow. Then I'm going to draw a bigger circle right below it, actually off to the side just a little bit. So I'm going to show you how I erase a lot. So just a little bit like this. A bigger circle than that one, and another circle. I sometimes also like to draw several circles till I get the circle shape the way I want it. So we have 2 more circles. This one's at a little bit of an angle, and this one's a little more directly underneath. Now we're going to draw a bigger circle. These are the back hind legs. Bigger circle back here on the bottom, and a bigger circle over here. So we're going to have 6 circles. They just get progressively bigger as they go down. So the 2 up here are smaller, then a little bigger, and then the bigger ones at the very bottom for the hind legs. And the rainbow shape for the head. We are going to connect this line at an angle and connect, so on the left side, from the side of this circle to the side of that circle is a line. Then this is a little confusing. This line comes in here and comes around like that and wraps. So you'll see that I don't start on this side because the hand is a little extended, and I come down and around. And then I extend this just a little bit. That's going to be the paw. So I extended the circle right here, just a little. Now I can erase this line and this circle. These circles, they didn't have to be perfect. You don't have to use circle shapes because they're just giving us a little information. We're going to be creating our own lines. We're just using them as a guide. Then over here, we're going to connect this line. Like this is going to be from the top of the shoulder, coming down and coming at an angle down here. So this is a line from the shoulder wrapping around and coming down. Then we're going to start here and wrapping around, and at the end it's going to be a little hump for the paw. And we can erase these circles. Actually, we can erase that part of that circle as well. And we can erase these circles now that we don't need them. We can see the arm starting to take shape. We're going to create a line here connecting. And the back of the body here. And this side. So it's almost like a little. And then we're going to create the bottom of the belly down here, connecting those two circles. We're going to create a circle here for the nose in the center. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a guide. And we're going to create the jowls, like kind of like the cheeks. They're sort of like droopy cheeks. So there's one droopy cheek, and we're going to create another droopy cheek on this side. If you want this space to be in front of that shoulder, just erase that line and create the droopy cheek to kind of connect with the head right here. We're going to create the mouth. And that, so it's just like a smiley face, kind of like a U shape, and then another U shape. I'm going to erase this part of the circle and create the nose here. The nose is a triangle shape that I'm going to fill in like that. And it has two lines coming up. Two parallel lines coming up from the triangle. We can also erase a little bit of the top just to make it look shiny. So we're just taking the eraser, pencil eraser, and just erasing a tiny little line on the nose. We're going to kind of make a little line where that circle was, right here and here. And now we're going to create the eyes. So the eyes are circles. If you want to trace a circle shape, you can, and make a little sparkly. And then another circle on the other side. And another little sparkly circle. So I made two circles with the little circles inside. Those are our white little sparklies that we always need to have inside the eyes. We are going to fill it in. And then we're going to make our pattern of the panda eyes. It looks like a jelly bean. And then the other one is a lumpy kind of bean as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think all pandas' patterns on their eyes are shaped a little differently. And we're going to color that in with a medium value. So not as dark as the eyes, but not super light either. Just a medium value. And notice I'm also drawing my lines in one direction. And I'm going to do that on this side as well. We need to make the ears so they kind of come up with two lines that are parallel to each other, meaning they're going in the same direction. and then it's just like a circle shape. On that side. And we'll do the same on this side. And then we're going to fill that in with lots of dark. You can go and extend outside of your lines a little because it's kind of like fur, so it can have a little bit of texture outside of that line. You don't have to stay right so centered with that line. And I'm pressing really hard to get a dark because the panda's ears are actually black. So I pressed really hard and filled that ear in with black. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And you can extend just a little past the line if you'd like. And I'm painting it, or not painting, drawing it with my pencil really dark to get the dark black. Now the top of the panda ear, this is still like this from that original circle, but we're going to kind of put a little bit of a bump on the top of the panda's head. They have a bumpy head, so you can make it a little more lumpy than like a perfect circle. We're also, I might make this just a little bigger, have it just a tiny bit bigger. I am also going to put a shadow from the ear. I'm going to draw in the same direction with my pencil, just a nice medium value to create a little bit of a shadow on the panda's face from the ear. I'm also going to do a nice medium value coming down here on the side of the face and coming down to the nose. You can soften it with your finger if you'd like, or you could just leave it. So what I did is I created a little bit of a shadow from the ear and then a little shadow here. I'm going to create a little shadow on this side as well. Now I'm going to go into the hands and the arms. So the hands are black, just like the ears, but we're going to make it so that it looks a little round. So I made it a medium value to a darker value. So I'm going to start with a medium value, which is just not pressing too hard. And then pressing really hard. So you can see I have a medium value and a darker value. It's very subtle. It doesn't need to be really drastic of a change of value, but just enough so that you can see that there's a little lighter side and a little darker side. We're going to do the same thing on this arm. So we're going to make a medium value on this side and a darker value on the left side. You can soften both of these arms with your fingers if you'd like, or you could leave them kind of harder where you see the brush strokes. It's okay, either way. But you can see that I have the medium value on this side and a darker value on that side. I am going to draw a bamboo stick through my panda's mouth. So it's just a line. It's going to start on this hand because that hand's holding the bamboo stick. It's going to go through the mouth and come out the other end. Make sure that it's coming out past that arm. Then I'm going to draw a leaf shape. Leaf shapes are just like one line to two lines. Like it gets a little thinner at the end. Like this one's kind of round. You could do it like a petal, or you could, if you do it a little round, just make sure you put a little V shape at the end. Usually the bamboo leaves, I think, are a little more pointed. They have a leaf on one side and another leaf on another side. So alternate. And you can fill them in so they're a little bit like a medium value. So you can see it. See my bamboo leaves? I have one at the end, and then I have one on the upper side and one on the bottom. And I'm going to have another one here, another one down here. You can, of course, have one where the panda's eating if you'd like. We are going to start to create the body. Now, the body is dark at the top part of the body, but down here it's like more white for the panda. So I'm putting a line from this arm to that arm, just so that I know where I need to stop. And with my medium value, I'm going to start right underneath the head and kind of go in a line across to the other side. So you can see I started right underneath. I didn't go into the face at all, and I did strokes all going in the same direction. And then I'm going to go in the next row, same direction. So now I have 2 rows. I'm going to do another row. And another row. And my last row. Now, to kind of blend it in with the body, I am going to do a nice soft kind of a lighter value. And then I can leave it, or I can soften it with my finger. So it sort of blends into the white a little bit. I am also going to do a shadow underneath the head. So I'm just going to go over it one more layer. Just underneath the head, so it's a little darker up here. And I need to make a medium value. This is still the body over here, so I need to fill this in with a medium value. Just like that. If it's the same color as the body, you can go darker because there would be a little bit of a shadow. Like that. Now we're going to do the feet. So we're going to do a semicircle. And we're going to do 5 little paw and claws. So these are the 5 claws. These are the little pads, 5 pads. And on this side, we're going to do a semicircle. And we're going to do 5 pads and 5 claws. This leg is the hind leg, and it kind of comes up like this to that shape. So if you can see, you could extend it a little farther if you feel like it needs to go a little farther out, but you can see that shape. So it goes here to a point and out, kind of like a teardrop. It's like that. It's a little teardrop. And I'm going to fill in the foot with a medium value. And you can fill in those pads with a darker value and the claws with a darker value. So I have the medium value on the foot, darker value on the pads, and darker value on the claws. Then I'm going to go darker value on the top in a row. And one more row of kind of darker to more of a medium value. And I'm just going to fill that in with rows. And then you can kind of soften it if you'd like. Actually, this might need to be just a little lighter. So I'm going to just erase just a little. I want my foot to be just a little lighter. There. If you want your foot to be a little lighter, you could just do a little bit of erasing. And then I have my medium value to darker value. Then I'm going to do a little lighter on this side so I'm not pressing very hard with my pencil. Just nice and light on that back of the foot. Then I'm going to do the pads, fill those pads in, and the claws. And the pandas, this leg is kind of wrapped around like this shape. Extends just a little bit. And I'm going to do a darker color up by the foot and slowly get a little lighter. Like that. Now I think I want this line, I want my bear to be just a little bit bigger, like that. Actually, it might be more like, kind of like this. There we go. A round, round panda. Then I'm going to draw a little bit of a shadow being cast from this arm. So it's very light underneath the arm onto that white section of the panda. Right here, that shape. And I'm going to soften it just a little. I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow or color right on the bottom of the panda, and a little bit of shadow or color right on this side of the leg. And up through the arm. So I put a little bit of color right on this side of the leg, on the body, and then a little bit under the arm, like the arm's casting a shadow. Now, if you want to put your panda somewhere, like you want to put some more bamboo, or you could think of the habitat or the place that the panda lives, and you can think about putting the ground and whatever would be found in that habitat or that place, and you could draw it, and then you could sign your name. And we did a wonderful panda. So thank you for drawing with me. See you next time.